Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End-of-Week Deep Dive, covering market moves in indexes, sectors, stocks, and global markets for the week ending Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Max Profit. Key indexes showed strength this week. The Dow 30 Index led the way, rising 685 points to reach a new all-time high of 45,631. The Russell 2000 and S&P 400 MidCap indexes both showed strong momentum, gaining over 2.5% each. Market breadth was notably positive this week. The Dow 30 saw 23 components advance versus 7 declining. The Russell 2000 showed impressive breadth with nearly two-thirds of stocks moving higher. The Nasdaq Composite was more mixed. Looking at weekly returns, the Russell 2000 outperformed with a 3.3% gain. Month to date, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq are both up about 2%, while the Russell 2000 has surged nearly 7%. Over the past decade, the Nasdaq Composite has delivered the strongest performance with a 16.4% average annual return. The S&P 500 and Dow have achieved around 11–12% annually over the same period.
Checking out best and worst performing equities, I'm Penny Stock. Leading the pack, ColorStar Technology skyrocketed 1,900% to 2, hitting a new all-time high. Tharimmune surged 249.6% to 4.72, reaching a new yearly high. The weekly gains were impressive, with ColorStar Technology showing an average daily return of 432%. Tharimmune posted strong monthly gains of 277%, while maintaining steady year-to-date performance. Looking at longer-term performance, Tharimmune shows a positive one-year return of 59.4%, though its three-year performance declined. Most other stocks in this group have limited historical data for meaningful long-term comparisons. Among large caps, Dayforce led with a 30.8% rise to 69.20. Paramount Skydance gained 16.6% to 16, reaching a new yearly high. Strong upward momentum characterized both stocks. Weekly performance shows Dayforce averaging nearly 6% daily returns. Paramount Skydance maintained consistent gains across all timeframes, with year-to-date returns exceeding 52%. In long-term metrics, Packaging Corporation of America stands out with a 10-year annual return rate of 11.8%. Paramount Skydance shows strong recent performance despite longer-term declines. On the downside, Star Fashion Culture plunged 92.5% to 0.15, hitting a new all-time low. Elong Power Holding dropped 91.2% to 0.32, both showing strong negative trends. The weekly declines were severe, with Star Fashion Culture averaging daily losses of 31%. Elong Power Holding showed similar weakness, with month-to-date losses exceeding 91%. Leading the declines, Star Fashion Culture plunged 92.5% to close at 15 cents, marking a new all-time low. Elong Power Holding tumbled 91.2% to 32 cents, while NV Medical dropped 79.6% to 1. Both stocks hit record lows amid strong downward trends. Among large caps, Palantir Technologies led the declines, falling 10.4% to 158.74. Intuit dropped 7.5% to 662.66, marking its fourth consecutive weekly decline. Advanced Micro Devices slipped 5.4% despite maintaining a strong positive trend. Year-to-date, Palantir maintains a remarkable 110% gain despite this week's decline. Intuit shows increased volatility with a 15.6% monthly decline. AMD retains a solid 39% year-to-date advance, despite recent weakness. Looking at longer-term performance, Advanced Micro Devices stands out with an impressive 10-year return of 9,325%. Oracle and Intuit show more modest 10-year gains of 529% and 642% respectively, despite recent pullbacks.
And now onto U.S. sector performance, where sectors showed notable strength. The energy sector and real estate led gains, rising 2.8% and 2.4% respectively. Financial services hit a new record high, closing at 889.92, marking its third consecutive weekly gain. Market breadth was particularly strong in financial services, with 405 advancing stocks versus 220 declining. Real estate and industrials also showed healthy participation, with advancers outnumbering decliners by significant margins in both sectors. Weekly returns highlight energy's 2.8% gain as the strongest performer. Basic materials stands out with a robust month-to-date return of 5.6%. Year-to-date, industrials leads the pack with a 16% return. Looking at longer-term performance, industrial shows impressive 10-year returns of 192%, averaging 11.3% annually. Financial services follows closely with a 178% total return over the same period, while energy and real estate both returned about 45%.
Energy stocks showed strong upward momentum this week. Valero Energy and Marathon Petroleum both demonstrated strong positive trends, with Valero up 6.2% and Marathon gaining 5.2%. APA broke out from an 8-day consolidation period, showing strong upward volatility and rising 5.6%. Looking at short-term performance, Schlumberger leads with a 7.9% weekly return. Month-to-date, APA shows the strongest gains at 12.2%. Year-to-date, Valero Energy and Marathon Petroleum are outperforming with returns of 18.6% and 22.5% respectively. Long-term performance reveals Valero Energy and Marathon Petroleum leading the pack. Marathon shows impressive 10-year returns of 253%, translating to a 13.4% annual rate. Valero follows with 138% total return over the decade, averaging 9% annually.
The worst-performing sectors this week showed mixed results. Technology led declines, falling 85 points or 1.5%, marking its second consecutive down week. Communication services dropped despite hitting a new all-time high last week. Consumer cyclical showed strength, rising 1.2% amid increasing volatility. Market breadth data reveals interesting patterns. Technology saw more decliners than advancers in the latest session, though weekly numbers remain positive. Utilities showed broad strength with advancing stocks, outnumbering declining ones across all timeframes. Consumer defensive displayed weakness in daily figures. Looking at returns, communication services leads month-to-date performance with a 2.8% gain. Consumer cyclical shows momentum with nearly 4% returns this month. Year-to-date, communication services and technology maintain strong gains above 13%. Long-term performance metrics highlight technology's dominance with a 23% average annual return over the past decade. Communication services leads one-year returns at nearly 32%. Consumer defensive shows more modest long-term growth with a 6.3% 10-year annual rate.
Technology stocks faced significant pressure this week. Palantir Technologies led the declines, dropping 10.4% while maintaining a very strong positive trend. Intuit extended its losing streak to 4 weeks, falling 7.5% amid strong downward volatility. Advanced Micro Devices and Dell Technologies each fell over 5%. Looking at short-term returns, Palantir shows the steepest weekly decline at 10.4%, though its year-to-date return remains impressive at 109.9%. Intuit stands out with a concerning month-to-date decline of 15.6%, while other tech stocks show more modest monthly losses. Long-term performance reveals Advanced Micro Devices as a standout performer with a remarkable 10-year return of 9,324%. Oracle and Intuit show more modest 10-year gains of 529% and 642% respectively. Dell Technologies impresses with a 3-year annual return rate of 40.8%.
Thanks for watching. I'm Max Profit, along with my AI co-host Penny Stock. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.